again this week. Her name is Heather Dockery. She was with me, like I said, a few months back, talking about her ministry, how God is using her to just sing praises to his name. She so blesses me. She's only 21 years old. But back in July, Heather had an unexpected brain surgery. And I remember when I found out about it, it just really broke my heart. I started praying for her. And I want you to keep this mighty woman of God in prayer. I'm going to get to her interview in just a moment. But as I thought of her and how God is already doing a new work in her after her surgery, Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. See, whatever situation that you're faced with, know that he is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can ask or think. He really can. He's no respecter of persons. I've seen so many miracles. God still performs miracles this very day, and he has in your life. Maybe some came quicker than others, but he is still a miracle working God. And I am so excited to have Heather with me today. And I just want you to listen into this interview with Heather and her mother, Marie. It's going to bless you. So listen in. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
And also joining Heather is her mother, Marie. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Heather was with us a few months ago. And Heather, you were sharing like some of the groups that you like. Name some of them.
Some of the Statler brothers or the Inspirations.
Okay, so just from a different time period.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you sang with that style as well.
Yep.
Okay, and the reason why I wanted you back, Heather, is because when you were here then, you were talking about you were getting married.
Yeah.
Your mother is very instrumental in your ministry and helping just get the word out about what you do, and she's so proud of you, which is obvious. But something has changed since the last time you were here. Mm-hmm. And I remember when your mother, Marie, you posted something on Facebook, and I had to read it twice because I'm like, this isn't Heather that she's referring to. Marie, tell me what happened.
Well, in July, Heather went to the emergency room. She had an episode at night, which had been diagnosed before as panic attacks or night terrors. So she went to Mayo Clinic. They did an MRI, and it showed that she had a mass in her brain in the right temporal lobe. It was a shock to us.
Right.
We could not believe it because since the age of 12 years old, she'd been having, come to find out, grand mal seizures, which were undiagnosed. But Dr. Warren at Mayo Clinic removed this particular tumor.
So in order to do that, though, what did she have to go through?
He did a craniotomy.
Wow.
And that's where they removed the skull, and he did an excellent job. Mm-hmm. She has a scar, but he's one of the few surgeons, actually, that doesn't shave the head, which was so kind of him. You know, her hair is down to her waist. It would have been a long time to grow that back, but she did well with his surgery. However, of course, with brain surgery, there are complications, and she's had to go back in, and she had a shunt put in. And, of course, that is something that they have to adjust and get the pressure just perfect. It's a lot more complicated than what I thought it was going to be. Even last week, she had 2 emergency room visits.
Wow, and it seemed like literally overnight. It's like she was doing one thing, and she was here talking about the Lord and talking about ministry and how much she loves God and she loves to sing. And then out of nowhere, it seems like this major attack happened to you, Heather. How did you feel when that happened? What was going through your mind?
At the time, I mean, truly, I felt blessed that I did have a seizure. That was a sign. And when we went to the emergency room, they were like, oh, you seem fine. And then I happened to fall asleep. And normally I don't have like these attacks twice in a night.
Right.
And I happened to have another one, and the doctor saw it. So they said, we need to get, scan her brain right now.
Right.
So that there was a miracle itself.
Right. Because sometimes you can go to the doctor and they're not seeing what you're talking about. You're trying to explain it, and they're like, well, we don't know, but that they were able to see what you were experiencing.
Yep.
So since that day, Heather, how are you feeling now?
I mean, after the surgery, I just didn't realize how blessed I was, because you don't realize how beautiful things are. There I was lying in the bed, and I was so cloudy-headed, and I couldn't walk, and I just didn't realize how much I've been missing, and just how beautiful things are, and how important friends and family really are.
Wow. Again, if you're just joining, this is Conversations with Val Marie. And my guest today is Heather Dockery and her beautiful mother, Marie. And we were just talking about how Heather was here several months back sharing her music with us. She found out, Marie, correct me if I'm wrong, that she had a tumor.
That's correct.
Okay, and what's the name of that procedure she had again?
She had a craniotomy.
Okay.
And it turned out to be an oligodendroglioma, which is the type of tumor that infiltrates the brain. So this is something that she will have to follow over, the rest of her life, actually.
Right.
Because they were able to remove a good portion of it, but not all of it.
Wow. Now, I know that even with all the stress of that, marriage plans have had to change. Not that he got cold feet or anything, but what happened?
Well, due to the insurance, I would lose it if I was to get married.
Right, so you just kind of delayed it for a little while, right?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
But what's his name, your fiance?
Kyle.
And I hear that he's such a great support to you.
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. A mighty man of God. He's actually here today while she's being interviewed. And Cal, just kudos to you. I mean, that just says so much about your character and who you are. And Heather, he's a keeper, because a man who is going to stand by you and stick with you through such a hard time in your life, is going to be a man that no matter what you face, together as a couple,
That's right.
he's going to